Broadcasting live from the Jersey Shore, it's Coach Kev on the Damage 365 Radio Network.
You're now listening to the Alumni Clubhouse Report, brought to you by the Alumni Coed Softball League, LLC, and the Damage 365 Radio Network.
Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Alumni Coed Clubhouse Report, reporting all the action from the Alumni Coed Softball League from this past Saturday, 6/28/2014. A lot of scores and highlights to go over, and crews and some shout-outs, and we'll even have a guest giving us a call. The manager of the front-running Furials, Michael Fury, will give us a call around 7:30, so we look forward to that phone call. But at this time, we should get right into our scores, so you guys can get back to your Sunday and hopefully watching the Money in the Bank pay-per-view by WWE today. So make sure you don't miss that. Get the WWE Network and watch it. But without further ado,
let's go to the videotape.
And with that said, let's go to the scores. And the aforementioned Furials defeated the Nightmares this past Saturday 7-4. And in Game 2, 9-2. Joe Leston picked up the victory. Mike Fury had 3 runs batted in and 3 runs scored. Regina Nicosi had 3 hits. Lauren Siako had the game-winning RBI in that game number 1. In game number 2, Rich Venuto picked up the win. Dave Levine had a home run, while Christy Levine and Bill Jones had 3 hits apiece. Also chipping in with 3 runs batted in was Mike Calandrea. For the Nightmares, Rob Green had a triple and 2 runs scored, and Mike Oliveras, he picked up that hard luck loss, pitching very well in that 7-4 Game 1 loss. So again, the Furials win 7-4 and 9-2 on Saturday afternoon. Moving on to our next batch of games, James Verrucchio's Ballbusters defeated Damage Athletics 8-3, and then in Game 2, Damage Athletics bounced back to trounce James Verrucchio 16-6. Let's see what we got. We got James Verrucchio's John Triacci. He had 3 doubles and a home run on a 5-for-6 day and 3 runs batted in. Eric Deeney in Game 1 was 3-for-4 with 2 runs batted in, including leading off the game with a home run. Jocelyn Montanez was 1-for-4 with 3 runs batted in. Nikki Bach was 2-for-7. She picked up the win on the mound in game number 1 when she pitched 7 innings, scattering 6 hits, 3 runs, 1 earned, and struck out 3 batters. On the day, Anthony Figueroa Jr. for Damage Athletics was 4-for-6 with 6 runs batted in. Lou Bafuto was 3-for-4 with an RBI and a triple. Kevin Nasta was 3-for-3, 3 runs scored, an RBI, and he walked 4 times. John Torrey picked up his first victory of the season. That came in the 16-6 victory. So again, James Verrucchio split with Damage Athletics. The Ballbusters win Game 1 8-3. Damage bounces back 16-6 in the nightcap. Moving on, Pepperjack Grill swept Rabs Country Lanes 8-6 and 12-0. Combined stats, Dave Kaczynski was 6-for-7 with a triple and 3 runs batted in. Macho Vasquez, a name only a shortstop should have, 5-for-7, 5 runs scored. Danny Modica, who picked up the victory in game number 2, but for the day he was 6-for-6 with 4 runs batted in. Amy Janicki, she picked up the shutout complete game victory in that 12-0 win. For Rabs Country Lanes, Nick Ponte and John Mahoney each went 2 for 3, while Rose Cardona went 3 for 3 on the day. Again, Pepperjack Grill 8-6 over Rabs Country Lanes, and in Game 2, victorious again 12-0. TriStar Mortgage, they picked up 2 victories as the Benchwarmers forfeited out of the league, so the Benchwarmers picked up 2 losses. TriStar Mortgage picked up 2 victories. Obviously no highlights for that game other than they got to relax this past weekend, and we did not. We'd like to give a special shout out though, speaking about this past weekend, from James Verrucchio's Ballbusters. This past Friday night, we'd like to congratulate Eric and Dana Dini on the birth of their new baby girl, Avery Teresa Dini, 7 pounds and 20 inches. Again, this past Friday, Eric and Dana Dini had a brand new baby girl, Avery Teresa, 7 pounds, healthy baby. Welcome to the world, Avery Teresa, and congratulations to Eric and Dana Dini. That's probably why Eric hit his home run and then left. So, what a weekend from him. He has a daughter, leads off the game with a home run, has a couple hits, and boom, he's gone. So, let's update the standings.
Let's go to the videotape.
And with that said, the Furioles improved to 16-1 on the season. Pepperjack Grill improves to 12-6. They sit 3.5 games off the pace. With the forfeit victories, TriStar Mortgage improves to 11-6. They have 4 games back. Damage Athletics with the split are 9-7, 6.5 games off the pace. James Verrucchio's Ballbusters, they are 10-9, 7 games back. And Rabs Country Lanes, who now has gone into a little bit of a tailspin, they are 9-10, and they are 9 games back. The Nightmares with the 2 losses are 3-14. They are 13 games back, and the Benchwarmers are now 0-19. The Nightmares and the Benchwarmers are now mathematically eliminated from the playoffs, as the Nightmares are now 6 games back with 5 games to go. So the end, and even if there wasn't, they lose the tiebreaker to the 2 bottom teams. So the Nightmares' Cinderella possibilities of making the playoffs are officially eliminated. Again, the Furioles at 16-1, they are pretty much a win away from locking up the division. I know some teams are playing next week on July 5th. That schedule has not been posted by the league's website, so I will go into the schedule for the following week, which is July 12th. I know some teams have triple headers that week, so let's go with that.
Let's go to the videotape.
And the schedule for the week of July 12th will be as follows. Rabs Country Lanes and the Furioles will battle it out at 8:30 and 10 at Egbert Field. Like I said, if the Furioles win that game, one of those games, I think they pretty much lock up the division because of tiebreakers. The other 8:30 game, 8:30 and 10, Damage Athletics will take on Pepperjack Grill, a rematch of opening day. 8:30 and 10 at South Beach 5, TriStar Mortgage will take on the Nightmares. And then later on in that day, it is TriStar Mortgage taking on Damage Athletics in an individual game at South Beach 5 at 12 o'clock. And let's see, are there any other? Well, the Nightmares did have a makeup game at 11:30 at South Beach 3 against the Benchwarmers, but they, of course, will be awarded the victory via forfeit. So the Nightmares will not have to play a triple header. So again, to recap the schedule, 8:30 and 10, the Furioles will battle it out with Rabs Country Lanes at Egbert Fields. The Benchwarmers will take on James Verrucchio's Ballbusters at South Beach 3. Damage Athletics will take on Pepperjack Grill at South Beach 4. And the later games, we'll see the Furials take on... Nope, we already said that. It will be the Nightmares picking up the victory via forfeit against the Benchwarmers. TriStar Mortgage will take on Damage Athletics. And we said, let's see, just want to make sure we got all the right ones here. TriStar Mortgage takes on the Nightmares, 8:30 to 10. It's up each 5. So, yeah, very confusing the way this program lists. It lists all the 8:30 games and then all the 10 o'clock games, even though they're against the same teams. But a couple teams have triple headers. One team lucks out with the team forfeiting out. They don't have a triple header. But pretty much all said and done, the 6 teams making the playoffs are pretty much locked in. Now there's a couple of spots between 2 and 6 where they can move around in the next week or so. So we will see what happens. Some teams will be affected by games that they didn't play this year, where maybe a team finishes ahead of another one with less wins because of the higher winning percentage. But again, that also works the other way, where you can finish behind a team that has less wins than you because they have a higher winning percentage. So that's what happens when Mother Nature reigns supreme. But at this time, I want to go to a commercial break. And then when we come back from that commercial break, we should be back about that time with the manager of the front-running Furials, Mike Fury, who joins us live in studio. So let's go to the commercial break.
Esposito's Pizza and Pasta. Over a decade of excellent dining experience. Dine in, take out, or free delivery. We feature over 25 different types of pizza pies, and also will create anything you want. Our sauces are made fresh daily and use only the freshest ingredients. We also have good old-fashioned style entrees, cooked like your mom used to make. From wraps, calzones, rolls, and pasta specials galore to calamari and soups, all in a cozy atmosphere. Call today or stop on in.
You guys, you lollygag the ball around the infield. You lollygag your way down to first. You lollygag in and out of the dugout. Do you know what that makes you, Larry?
Lollygaggers.
Lollygaggers.
Everything.
The one constant through all the years, Ray, has been baseball. America has rolled by like an army of steamrollers. It's been erased like a blackboard, rebuilt and erased again. But baseball has marked the time. This field, this game, is a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good, and it could be again. Oh, people will come, Ray. People will most definitely come.
Welcome back, everybody, and at this time, I'd like to welcome my guest on the Clubhouse Report, the manager of the front-running Furials, Mr. Michael Fury, joins us live in studio. Welcome to the show, Mike.
Hey, Kev, how are you?
I'm good. How does it feel to be live on the radio worldwide on Damage 365 Radio Network?
Yeah, it feels good. I think I do this to support the show. I know all the managers and players I've spoke with really like what you're doing, so I think I can do to help is my pleasure.
You know, it's things like this, you know, like I enjoy this, you know, I use my radio network. We have a wrestling show, and we have two or three other shows that are kind of in their infancy stage where we're going to be launching them soon. And you've known me even pre-softball from our youth bowling years in high school, and you played with me for 10 years from 96 on. So I'm very committed to, if I start a project, I'm committed to it. And I feel like this radio show helps the league. You can't name any other league, softball, baseball, football, or any other organized sports in Staten Island that can say that they have a recap radio show that gives you scores, gives you updated standings, schedules, gives shout-outs to all the players throughout the league, and exposes the league for advertisement and all this. And the league really has nothing to do with it. Like, Stu didn't come to me. I volunteered to do this because I want our league to have 10 teams, 12 teams, 14 teams. I mean, you remember back in the day when we had that other league we used to play for, which we won't name, there was years that we had 14, 16 plus teams.
Yes.
So, I mean, you know, when I first started in that league in 1995, we had 24 teams. So you play a season, and you might not even see a team unless they made the playoffs.
Yeah, I remember that.
So it was crazy. I mean, and the way softball is nowadays, we shouldn't be struggling to get teams. So with the All-Star game, with the female home run derby that is debuting this year before the All-Star game, the radio show, I think it's all positive things moving forward for the Alumni Softball League. Like, how do you feel about that?
No, I agree 100%. I know my team, once they started realizing that you were doing your weekly radio show, you know, I think most, if not all of them, tune in to listen, and they're all asking me after the game, "Hey, call me into the show. So I like that. I mean, it adds a sense of camaraderie not only to the team, but also support to the league. Stu's been doing one heck of a job since day one. I think every year the league gets better, and Stu really does everything he possibly can to make this league the best league on Staten Island.
I agree. You know, he's pretty much got the market cornered as far as co-ed on Saturdays. I really wish he had a co-ed league on Sundays, not so I can play, because hell, everybody knows I don't want to pay that toll twice in a weekend. But I would love to see some kind of interleague where the Saturday league plays maybe three separate series against the Sunday league, and then you have the All-Stars from Saturday play the All-Stars from Sunday, and then each league champion plays each other for like the overall alumni, champion for the year.
Oh, I mean, that'd be an awesome move if you ever did that. It's just, I just don't feel the fields are very difficult to get on Staten Island. I mean, a lot of people want to play softball. There's just a limited amount of space.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it would be tremendous if this league could expand to that level.
I would even, and I tried to push him for it. He keeps asking me. He's like, "Oh, help me out. I'll do it." To even get a Sunday co-ed in New Jersey, and you do it just like the World Series. The champion from Staten Island plays the champion in Jersey. You do best of 5, and the team with the best record has a possibility of playing 3 games in their home state.
No, I mean, again, that's another great idea. And some people that I used to play with on Sundays would jump at a chance to play in Stu's Alumni Coed League. It was on Sundays, but unfortunately, it's not. And I think if it ever was, I keep bugging him, at least once a year. Hey, when are you going to put a league on Sunday? Because there's quite a few teams that would sign up.
I feel like softball. And you're I don't know if you still bowl, but I mean I'll still call you a bowler because you spent half your life bowling. You know how bowling used to go through its 7 to 10 year swing, where it was the most popular thing on earth for 10 years, and then nobody talked about it for 10 years. I think softball in Staten Island is the same way. I mean, from 95 to early 2000s, softball was the biggest thing on the planet. It was just wow. All these teams, all these leagues, you couldn't get a field. Then from mid-2000s to late 2000s, 09, 2010, it was kind of people were kind of losing interest. It became more of a job, oh man, I got softball this weekend, blah, blah, blah. Now I feel like it's on its upswing again from 2011 to now.
Oh, I agree with that. And like you said before, when I first started playing with you, I remember we started games at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, we had to.
Because there were just so many games to get in, and we were getting games scheduled at 5:30 at night. I mean, you were playing softball all day, every day. I agree. I think you're getting more and more teams. I think this year, I think with the Stewards League, I mean, every team is very competitive with one another. My team, we kind of, we finished first place, but again, we did a lot of games we very easily could have lost, a lot of nail biters, and we didn't even lose a game. So it's very close. I mean, any given Saturday, we can lose. I mean, any given Saturday, any team could beat any team. So I mean, I think this year has been probably the most competitive and the most exciting in a long time.
I agree with that. I mean, the competitive balance in the league this year has been remarkable. Granted, you guys are 16-1, but I was looking at some of your games and, just basing it off score, because I don't know what the situation is. Like, it could have been a game you were up 10-0 and you guys were, lollygagging and it became 10-6, you know what I mean? But just score-wise, out of 17 games, you guys could have easily had about 6 losses this year.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, just yesterday we played the Nightmares, and it was 2-2 going into the 6th inning in that first game, and we happened to get a couple good hits with a 2-out rally in the 6th inning. I mean, it goes to show you. I mean, any given Saturday this year, it seems that any team can beat anybody. So you really got to bring it every Saturday this year.
I mean, going into this week, second place through 6th place was separated by 5 games, and each team had a minimum of 6 to 7 games left in the season. So it's like any loss can move you in the standings up, or any win can move you up or down, and whatever the case may be. As we sit right now, Pepper Jack with 12-6, and then Rebs, who's been struggling, at the bottom of the playoff pack at 9-10, still only separated by 5.5 games. So it could go any way. I mean, and then some of these teams play each other next week in makeup games, and a lot of these teams are playing each other the final week of the season. Like, I know we're playing Pepper Jack Grill for 2 games, and then TriStar for 1 game, and those are the 2 teams ahead of us, and that can go any way. It can go either way, and then you got the Nightmares who can play spoilers on teams because they're taking on teams that are ahead of them in the standings, and now if they take some wins, they play spoiler now. Unfortunately, the bench warmers took a walk, but at least they waited until 2 weeks left in the season to do it.
Yeah. We're typically play. We have 3 against Ravs, and and even then, I mean, I know we probably doesn't mean anything to us, but I'm going to try to get another 5th to qualify. I mean, because you always have to manage, even on the games that really don't mean much in the standings. You always got to keep doing something, keep everybody motivated, keep everybody wanting to play well, and then. Plus it wouldn't be fair to the other teams who are fighting with Ravs. I mean, again, it's so close that if we just don't show up or whatever, I mean that's not fair to the league. That's not fair for anybody. So we're going
I don't fear anybody. I don't feel anybody would do that. I don't think you guys would go out there and just throw no caution to the wind because you don't care about the teams below you and their standings. You guys got too much pride. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
You got too many guys on your team that have too much pride that they even if they got the division locked up, they're not coming down to lose. They're coming down to win. And that's the attitude you have to have.
Win, have a good time. I mean, winning is nice, but as long as you're having a good time, having a bunch of laughs, I mean that's really what it's all about.
And you said you're playing 3 against Rebs?
Yes.
See, that's now here's a team that's coming off 4 straight losses, just fell under 500. They're a team that they're angry. They're tired of losing, and they're tired from going. I mean, they went from 2nd place to 6th place in 2 weeks, so they're going to be a very angry team coming at you guys.
Oh yeah, and we are prepared for it. It's just we're just going to give it our best shot and just see whatever happens. But I do think it's very exciting. I mean, you don't know what the playoff teams are going to be, because everything is just so damn close.
Now, do you know what the playoff format is going to be, since there's 6 teams in the first round, and there's going to be an odd amount going into round 2?
From what I understand, the first seeds 1 and 2 are going to have a bye that first week. So I think the first week of the playoffs, 3 is going to play 6, 4 is going to play 5, and then the 25th, which is round 2, number 1 will play the lowest seed, and 2 will play the other team.
Okay.
And then the following week will be a championship.
I was just trying to dig in my head. I mean, there was like 3 possible scenarios, and it was probably in the rules. I probably didn't read that part, which everybody's probably like,
you read every rule.
And that's it. I don't know a rule. What?
No, I like that format because it gives you something to play for. It gives you something to play for. The league that every team makes the playoffs, where's the motivation to?
Yeah, there is none. There's none. You can say, positioning. It don't matter, because we've seen in professional sports where an 8th seed knocked off a number 1 seed, and there's 14 teams in the division. So that's motivation. You want to make sure you get in the playoffs. I mean, you're an Oriole fan. I'm a Met fan. We getting to the playoffs, that's like winning the championship for us.
Yeah, that's that right.
So like I can see it, but just making look, there was years in the past where we had to do it because so many games got rained out and there was no way to make up games. There was like 2 weeks left in the schedule, and there was like 8 games that had to be made up. Like, I can understand that, but this year we got beat up pretty bad with the rain. I mean, no joke. I mean, Mother Nature was not nice to us this year. And then she would mess with us because it would rain all day on Friday, and then Saturday morning it'd be 85 degrees, sunny, and we're all sitting at home going, really? Like, really? Like, come on. Like, at least rain the whole day on Saturday so it doesn't feel as bad.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, but those fields, I mean, they took a beating with the winter, and I don't think they ever recovered. I know Stu tried his hardest to get the field ready, but some of the fields is just impossible.
I can tell you right now, from my experience, this is my 3rd co-ed league that I've played in on Saturdays. I've played in co-ed leagues, other leagues on Sundays. I've played during the week. I played men's leagues on Sunday. I know you play in multiple leagues. I cannot tell you one commissioner that leaves the state of New Jersey at the butt crack of dawn, drives into Staten Island, checks all the fields, and goes out there with a bucket and drags the fields and shovels. I can't tell you one commissioner that does that other than ours.
No, I can't either, and that just shows you the dedication Stu has, to the league and the respect he has to the people who play in his league. So I think that alone, on top of everything else that he does with the All-Star game and everything, he really tries to do the best he can. He wants, he just does it for us, not for himself. I mean, some other commissioners just, once they get the check, they don't care what happens. They don't care if you play 1 game or 10 games. Stu wants you on the field every week and does everything he can, and sometimes, especially Mother Nature this year, it's just out of his hands.
Yeah, I mean, this week I know he was in Cooperstown. Thank God it didn't rain, because, he wouldn't have been there to check the fields. He would have had to trust other people to go down there and give him the correct information. So, again, here's a guy who lives in New Jersey. He drives to the fields on Fridays to make sure the fields are playable. There's been times where I've called him on a Friday night, and he was on a field at night in the dark with his car facing the field with the headlights on, and he's raking the field on a Friday night.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing.
So you're not going to have that. So I would actually say, this year's went very smooth. There's been no drama from anybody, managers, players. Everything's gone pretty smooth. So, I'm looking forward to the playoffs. I'm looking forward to seeing everybody in the field. Looking forward to getting rid of the rest of those sunflower seeds. And for anybody who doesn't know what that means, I've been carrying around a bucket of sunflower seeds in my trunk for about 2.5 months and forgot they were there. And I busted them open last week, and I was literally like walking around, handshaking people after the games, and handing them a bag of softball seeds.
We still have a bunch from 2 weeks ago from you.
Well, you guys we played you last week, and then you came on the field after us, so you guys got seconds if you needed.
Oh, yeah.
Mike, I definitely want to thank you for coming on the show. I want to wish you personally luck, and as one of my really, really good friends. Not only just for softball, just my life. You're always there, and I feel I kind of had an influence on you.
Well, I certainly came from the Kevin Nassif coaching tree, that's for sure.
That is correct, and anybody who knows me knows I try to do it right. I try to follow the rules. I try to make sure the rules are enforced fair. I try, I even got into a conversation this past week with the 2 umpires that did our game, which I think they did your game as well. And I asked them a question. I threw them a scenario, and I said, what would you do? And I got 2 different answers from the umpires. And I said, guys, this is exactly what is wrong with the umpires in this league. No consistency. I said, so you guys need to work on that. And, of course, they just looked at me and laughed as I walked away. But I'd like to thank you for coming on the program. I wish you and the Furials luck. And I hope to see you on August 2nd in the championship. And if not, I will definitely see you August 9th at the All-Star Game and the pregame home run derby. And, wish your players luck. If they're not listening, make sure you know that I wish you guys luck.
Well, thanks for having me on. It was a pleasure to offer some insights about the damage in the playoffs, and hopefully we do meet August 2nd.
You got it, Mike. Thanks, man.
Okay, have a good night.
You too. Take care. That was Mike Fury, ladies and gentlemen, the manager of the Furials. They are the current first-place team in our league, and a team that everybody's going to be gunning towards because they have won the league for the last 3 seasons. So, as I said a couple weeks ago, they got a big orange bullseye on them because they are orange. So, that's about all the time we have, folks. So I really...
Let's go to the videotape.
No, Warner Wolf. Warner Wolf is you just cannot... Get off my show, Warner. But anyway, I thank you again for tuning in to show number 6 for the Alumni Coed Clubhouse Report. I want to wish everybody a good rest of your weekend. And if you are watching the pay-per-view, enjoy it. Be safe. And next week, there are some games scheduled for the July 5th weekend, so I will be having a Clubhouse Report on Sunday, July 6th. So, again, managers, I appreciate it if you can get me that information as soon as possible. I'd like to thank all the managers for getting me the information this week. And that's it, folks. Have a great weekend.